Hi everyone, Fiona MacDonald here of Angie Goulet and Associates, and I am joined by the hottest thing on the market, Alexis Pistagnesi. She's new to our team, and we're super excited to have her on here today talking about June 2021 stats. It's a market update, and we talk about it and break it down for you so you don't have to. So welcome, Lexi. Thanks so much for being here today.
Thank you for having me.
Did you have a good Canada Day?
Yes, yeah, it was fantastic. Enjoyed the
Yeah.
week as well. How about you?
I did. It's been, you know what, this weather's been fantastic. I'm so happy, and it's starting to feel like the lazy days of summer, right? Hot
Yeah.
at night. Yeah, it's been wonderful. So we're coming at you a little bit later in the month with the stats than we normally do, just because of the long weekend. We wanted to make sure that we had all the information and that we had you watching. So thanks for joining us. Thanks for watching today. So we're going to take a look at things because we're seeing a bit of a change in the market. Do you agree, Lex?
Yeah, absolutely.
What have you been noticing?
Just a bit like we're seeing, less offers, more, but like that's not really affecting the sell price, but we're seeing a little bit more inventory, which is good to see for sure.
Right.
Yeah.
Just a little bit different, right? For sure. That's what I'm seeing too. So you're going to break it down with a really great way of kind of framing it for us a little bit later. But for now, let's take a look at June 2021. So average selling price was 555,544. So that's a fun number to say. We're up 38.36% from last year for that average sale price. But we'll talk about what that looks like from June to May. Not a major difference in the average selling price month to month. Now, we did have 1,143 new listings hit the market in June. And I, for one, with my buyers, noticed that we definitely had more options. How about you, Lex?
Yeah, absolutely. Which is great to see for sure.
Yeah, so we just had a little bit more to shop through. And definitely with my sellers, we saw that there were a few more on the block. Everybody caught the bug. Now, this is pretty seasonal, right? We're
Yes.
watching this, and it's to be expected at this time of year. So a 27% increase in new listings from 2021 to 2020. So again, we're seeing that trend, that trajectory that we've continued to talk about. We've got this strong market chugging along, but we're just starting to see some changes. And Krista and I, when we talked about this last month, both said we'll be curious to see what takes place in June, just because a few things were happening. So units sold in June, 727. So that's a 6.6% increase. So what we're from last year. So same amount of units sold, basically, but a lot more listings, right? So everyone's kind of caught on. I think there's a comfort level that people are starting to feel now that we've seen the vaccine roll out. But just some trends that I'd like to talk about. What do you think some of the factors are affecting what we saw in June 2021?
Yeah, for sure. So I think a big one was the stress test changing. I think a lot of buyers at that point were taking a step to kind of see where they were at, get pre-approved by their mortgage lender or broker. I think that was a big factor in what we saw in June. And then just the summer market, right? We always kind of see things like pick up a little bit in June, right?
Completely agree. So the stress test, you know what, we've seen like things like this in recent history taking place, the stress test and some of those changes. And what I usually see is there's a little bit of a scramble for a week or two, and then everything goes right back to normal, right? When we've got this seller's market going on, buyers are always, the demand is there. So the buyers hit the ground running very quickly after that. And then as predicted, end of June, a little bit of a slowdown just because, again, more factors, COVID related and not COVID related. Kids are getting out of school, the weather's getting nice. I think a lot of people have a lot of pent up energy ready to just enjoy some summer weather. And so slight distractions at the end of June, but this is not unique to 2021 is what I'm going to say. This is predicted and very seasonal, and we see it year after year after year. And here we are early July already, and I'm seeing things start to pick up again, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So why don't we take a look at the difference between June 2021 and May 2021? So do you want to go over some of those numbers, Lex?
Yeah, for sure. So We see the average selling price. It did go down a little bit. Not really a big difference, so pretty much negligible at that point. We saw our inventory come up again, 1,143 this month, so a little bit over last month with 1,027, and units sold were up a little bit as well, 727, which is up a little bit from last month's 687. So we saw both of those come up a little bit. And then one thing that we could talk about here too is the residential sales to listing ratio. So what we're seeing is, so for some background knowledge, that's the difference between the units sold divided by the amount of new listings. And what that gives us a good idea of is the whether we're in a seller's market or whether we're in a buyer's market. So if we're above 60%, we're looking at a seller's market. If we're below 40%, we're looking at a buyer's market. Anything between is considered balanced. So
that's a really good measurable. I think so many people don't know those numbers, but what a wonderful measurable. And I think so many of us people are always asking me, is it still a seller's market? Well, there's a number that we can hand them, right? So thanks for explaining that, Lex.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So we are seeing a trend more towards balance. So in January of 2021, we were looking at 84%. As of May, we were at 67, and then as of last month, we were at 63. So you can see this trend coming back towards balance, which is really better for everyone in the market, right?
I completely agree. It's a different pace. And for those of you thinking of selling, one thing that I do want to say, yes, things are balancing out, but we're seeing fewer offers on the table. We're still seeing very strong offers, though. It hasn't affected our sale price at all. It's great to see inventory, but it's still strong. The demand is still really there. So I think we're in a really wonderful, actually.
I think we might be losing you, Fee. Okay, I think we might have lost Fiona. Oh, there she is. We can't hear you though. Okay, yeah, I got it. Okay, so that covers the June to May difference there. So we're gonna go over the most popular home styles for June 2021. So we saw first up we have bungalow, same as last month, and then we have the 2 stories, raised ranches, ranch, and then 1.5 story. So this is pretty similar to last month for sure. I think you might be muted, Fiona, maybe? No. Okay, so I think that's all we've got for you guys today. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you, Fiona, for joining. And we wish you guys an awesome week. As always, give us a shout if you have any questions about the market, anything else if you guys want to sell or buy. We're happy to help you with anything. Thanks.